All right, so let's cut the crap and dive right into this shit. We've got Sir David Attenborough, right? The dude's voice is like synonymous with nature documentaries, you know? But here's the thing. He's more than just that soothing voice narrating penguins waddling their asses off.
Oh, absolutely.
This guy's a total badass. He's been everywhere, seen everything.
Yeah.
And he's probably low-key judging all of us for fucking up the planet.
Yeah, he's definitely a fascinating figure. I mean, his career spans what, like 8 freaking decades?
Oh, yeah.
It gives us a crazy perspective on how wildlife filmmaking and this whole environmentalism thing have changed over time.
Okay, so we're going deep on Attenborough's Wikipedia page today.
Right.
And let me tell you, this thing is a gold mine. It's like reading a script for the most epic nature documentary ever, but like with all the behind-the-scenes drama and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So first up, let's talk about his early days at the BBC. And get this.
Okay.
The dude almost didn't make it on screen because some stuffy BBC exec thought his teeth were too big for TV.
Seriously?
Can you believe that shit?
Oh, wow. That's wild, right? Imagine TV without Attenborough's voice. But you know what's interesting is how he wasn't afraid to push back against those boneheads. He was already like a renegade back then,
Yeah.
forming his own unit within the BBC to focus on like the travel and exploration content that he was passionate about.
Yeah.
Didn't want to get stuck in some boring ass studio, I guess.
He was basically paving the way for all those YouTubers and influencers out there doing their own thing.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, screw the man. I'm going to film gorillas. But hold up, this dude also became the controller of BBC Two, right?
He did.
Which is a big fucking deal.
Absolutely. This was back in the 60s, and under Attenborough's watch, BBC Two became the go-to channel for all the cool, groundbreaking content. Think Monty Python's Flying Circus and Match of the Day.
Right.
Shows that are still iconic as hell today. He basically transformed the channel into a hub for like diverse and edgy programming.
So not only does he know his way around a jungle, he also had a killer instinct for what makes good TV. The man was a goddamn visionary. And then, of course, we got to talk about the Life series.
Oh, of course.
Those documentaries are legendary.
Yeah.
Like, they're practically religious experiences for nature nerds like myself. Remember those penguins getting chased by leopard seals?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking epic.
The Life series was revolutionary, man. It wasn't just about, pretty pictures of animals. Attenborough brought this scientific rigor to wildlife filmmaking.
Yeah.
Combined with his incredible talent for storytelling.
Yeah.
He made learning about nature compelling and visually stunning. And you're right, those scenes are unforgettable. He inspired like a whole generation of filmmakers to step up their game.
But here's the thing. Attenborough wasn't just obsessed with animals.
Right.
I mean, the guy's explored uncharted territories, delved into tribal art, even presented a kids' show about cryptids.
What?
Like, what the hell? Is there anything this dude hasn't done?
It all points back to his insatiable curiosity and his drive to learn and share knowledge. Whether it's chimpanzees or tribal masks, he finds the common thread that connects it all. And he brings it to life in a way that makes you want to learn more.
Now, let's get to the shit that really matters.
Yes.
Climate change. You can see a clear shift in Attenborough's later work.
Yeah.
He goes from showcasing the beauty of nature to straight up sounding the alarm about its fragility.
Uh-huh.
And you know what? It pissing people off.
Yeah, it's a tricky transition. You've got folks who just want to escape into the wonders of nature, not be confronted with the fact that we're destroying it.
Yeah.
But Attenborough was like, wake the fuck up, people. Yeah. He knew the clock was ticking, and he felt this responsibility to use his platform to shake things up. He probably lost some fans along the way, but he also gained a whole new generation who are ready to fight for the planet.
And then there's that infamous plague on Earth quote.
Oh, yeah.
This was back in 2013 at a freaking population conference.
Yeah.
And Attenborough basically said humans are overpopulating the planet, causing all sorts of ecological chaos. Man, did that drop a bomb on the internet.
That quote was a lightning rod, no doubt. The whole overpopulation debate is a minefield.
Right.
Filled with nuances and sensitivities.
Yeah.
But Attenborough's statement, as blunt as it was, reflects how deeply he cares about the planet's future. It was a wake-up call. Like he was saying, get your shit together, humanity, or we're all screwed.
You also can't forget his epic takedown of creationists.
Oh, right.
Some dude tried to challenge him on evolution, and Attenborough hit back with this story about a parasitic worm that lives in people's eyeballs. Talk about brutal.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That story perfectly captures Attenborough's approach to knowledge and belief. He's a man of science, grounded in observation, skeptical of dogma, not afraid to challenge, comfortable assumptions. He's like, show me the evidence or shut the fuck up.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've seen how Attenborough went from this nature-loving kid to a global icon who's using his voice to fight for a bigger purpose.
Yeah.
It's pretty inspiring, even for a cynical asshole like myself.
It is. It is. It's a hell of a journey, isn't it? From wide-eyed kid to a global voice of reason. Gotta respect that.
No doubt, man. The guy's seen some shit. We're talking about the Arctic, the Amazon, the deepest, darkest corners of the ocean.
Yeah.
He's witnessed the impact of climate change, pollution, deforestation. It's got to be depressing as hell.
Oh, it's heavy stuff for sure.
Yeah.
He doesn't sugarcoat it, that's for sure.
Right. Yeah.
He's been straight up saying, climate change is the biggest threat humanity's facing.
Yeah.
No mess around.
And it ain't just climate change, right? It's like the whole damn planet's going to shit. Overpopulation, species vanishing faster than a politician's promise.
Yeah.
Plastic choking the oceans.
Yeah.
It's an apocalypse buffet out there, and we're all invited.
Yeah, colorful way to put it. But yeah, the problems are massive, and they're all tangled up together.
Right.
And Attenborough has been hammering this point home. We need a big picture solution, not just Band-Aid fixes.
So what's the solution then? Are we all doomed? Should I just start building my underground bunker and stockpiling Twinkies?
Hold your horses, doomsday prepper. Attenborough's actually a pretty optimistic dude,
Really?
He genuinely believes humans are smart enough, resourceful enough to fix this mess.
Okay.
He ain't giving up on us, so we shouldn't either.
All right. That's a sliver of hope in this shitstorm. So what's the plan, Attenborough? Lay it on us.
Well, he's been pretty clear about it in his recent work.
Okay.
Switch to renewable energy, cut back on our wasteful consumption, protect what's left of nature, rethink our diets.
Right.
It's a whole system overhaul, man. A revolution in how we live on this planet.
So less driving Hummers, less scarfing down burgers, more hugging trees and shit. Got it. But seriously,
Yeah.
you think people will actually listen? We're talking about humans here. Selfish as hell, most of them.
True, but, his message is hitting home, especially with the younger generation.
Yeah.
They're fired up, ready to make a change.
Okay.
And that's a force to be reckoned with.
Okay. Maybe there's a glimmer of hope then.
Yeah.
But it's going to take more than just, sorting our recycling and switching to those fancy LED light bulbs.
Damn right. We got to change our values, our priorities.
Right.
Stop seeing ourselves as separate from nature and realize we're part of this whole damn ecosystem.
Yeah.
When the planet gets sick, so do we.
Deep shit, man. But back to Attenborough. This dude's a legend.
Yeah.
Like the ultimate nature geek, but in the coolest way possible.
Mm-hmm.
What's his secret? How's he stayed relevant for so long?
Well, it's a few things, I reckon.
Okay.
The guy's never lost that, childlike curiosity about the world.
Yeah.
He's constantly learning, evolving.
Yeah.
And he's a master storyteller. He knows how to connect with people on a gut level. Plus, his passion for nature is so damn genuine, it's contagious.
I heard he's a pretty chill dude in real life, too. I bet he'd be down for a beer and a chat about penguins or something.
Yeah, from everything I've read, he's super humble, down to earth. Fame hasn't gone to his head. He's still that same curious, passionate guy who fell in love with nature as a kid.
Gotta respect that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about his work, his activism, the whole legacy thing.
Yeah.
But what about the man himself? What makes him tick? Fears, dreams, regrets, all that juicy shit.
Well, he's pretty private, so we don't get a ton of insight into his personal life.
Yeah.
But his autobiography does have some reflections on his life and career.
Okay, spill the beans, man. Any good gossip?
No juicy gossip, sorry to disappoint.
All right.
But he does talk about the struggle of, balancing his personal life with his crazy travel schedule,
Right.
regrets not spending more time with family, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the price of being a globe-trotting badass, I guess. Missing out on the simple stuff.
But he also talks about, the incredible privilege of seeing all those natural wonders firsthand, things most of us can only dream of.
Yeah.
And he feels this, deep responsibility to share those experiences, to open our eyes to the beauty and the fragility of it all.
So back to the big picture, Attenborough's legacy.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's been around for almost a century.
I know, it's crazy.
What kind of dent has he actually made?
Yeah.
Has he just been preaching to the choir, or has he actually moved the needle on a global scale?
That's the million-dollar question. And honestly, I think it's both.
Okay.
He's undeniably raised awareness about the natural world and, the shitstorm we've created. His documentaries have reached billions of people, sparking curiosity, wonder, and concern.
Yeah, but has that translated into actual action?
Yeah.
Like, have governments changed their policies? Have corporations cleaned up their act? Have people actually changed their behavior? That's what I want to know.
Change is a slow, messy beast, man. It's tough to measure the direct impact of his work on, specific policies or individual actions.
Okay.
But he's been a catalyst, no doubt.
Yeah.
A powerful voice that shifted public opinion and put pressure on those in power.
Okay, so awareness is up. But has he actually saved any species from extinction? Has he single-handedly stopped deforestation? Has he reversed climate change with the power of his voice? Let's be real here.
He's not a superhero.
Right.
But he's been a champion for the natural world.
Okay.
He's helped raise, a shit ton of money for conservation efforts.
Right.
He's backed countless organizations fighting to protect endangered species and habitats.
Okay.
He's lent his voice to campaigns against deforestation, pollution, climate change. He's fighting the good fight.
All right, he's doing his part.
Yeah.
But what about the rest of us? What can we do to help out?
Attenborough's message is crystal clear. We all have a role to play. We got to be mindful of what we buy, make sustainable choices, shrink our carbon footprints, and back the organizations fighting for the planet.
Right, right.
Vote for leaders who give a damn about the environment. And most importantly, speak up, make some noise, demand change.
I get it, but sometimes it feels like we're just pissing in the wind.
Yeah.
What difference does it make if I recycle my plastic bottle when corporations are dumping tons of toxic waste every day?
It's easy to feel overwhelmed, powerless.
Yeah.
But every damn action we take, even the small stuff, creates a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Our choices matter.
Right.
Our voices matter. And together, we can actually make a difference.
Right.
Don't underestimate the power of collective action.
Okay, trying to stay optimistic here.
Yeah.
But let's face it, the planet's pretty fucked up right now.
It is.
Is there any real hope for the future?
Attenborough believes there is.
Okay.
He's seen how resilient nature can be.
Yeah.
The incredible power of life to, bounce back, adapt, regenerate. And he's also seen the potential for human ingenuity and collaboration.
Right. We can turn this ship around if we act now.
All right, so maybe it ain't all doom and gloom just yet. But what's the end goal here? What kind of future are we working towards? Paint me a picture.
Attenborough envisions a world where humans live in harmony with nature.
Okay.
A world where we cherish biodiversity, protect our oceans, and embrace a sustainable way of life.
Right.
It's not some hicky fantasy.
Right.
It's a necessity for our survival.
Sounds pretty utopian. But how do we get there from where we are now?
It's going to require a massive shift in our mindset.
Right.
We got to ditch the obsession with endless growth and consumption, recognize that the planet has limits, and learn to live within them.
So less shit, more nature.
Bingo. It's about prioritizing quality of life over material possessions, finding joy in simpler things, connecting with the natural world. It's about rediscovering what truly matters.
All right, I can get behind that. So what's the one thing you want listeners to take away from this deep dive on Sir David Attenborough? Well, I want them to be inspired by his dedication to understanding and protecting the natural world.
Okay.
To feel the urgency of his message. And most importantly, I want them to be motivated to make a difference.
Well said. This has been a hell of a ride, exploring the life and legacy of a true legend.
It has been.
Sir David Attenborough, you're a goddamn inspiration, even for cynical bastards like us. So we've talked about Attenborough's message, right? But let's get real for a sec. What does a sustainable future actually look like? Is it all solar panels and electric cars and, tofu burgers?
Well, it's bigger than just swapping out our gadgets and grub,
Right.
It's about rethinking our entire relationship with the planet.
Yeah.
Attenborough's been pushing for systemic change.
Yeah.
Tackling things like overconsumption, waste reduction, protecting biodiversity.
Right.
It's a whole different way of thinking about how we live, produce, and consume.
Right. So less about individual actions and more about holding corporations and governments accountable for the mess they've created. But how do we actually make those bastards listen?
Well, Attenborough's been doing his part. He's been calling out unsustainable practices, pushing for stricter environmental regulations, advocating for a shift in economic priorities.
Right.
He's even addressed world leaders at those, fancy climate summits,
Yeah.
trying to light a fire under their asses.
But those summits are mostly just a bunch of hot air, right?
Uh-huh.
A bunch of suits making promises they'll never keep.
There's a lot of skepticism, for sure. But Attenborough's presence at those events, it lends them a certain weight, It amplifies the message to a global audience. He's not afraid to use his platform to hold those in power accountable.
Okay, so he's putting the pressure on.
Yeah.
But what about the average Joe? What can we do besides feeling guilty about our carbon footprint?
Attenborough's been pretty clear on that front.
Yeah.
He's always emphasized the power of collective action.
Right.
Voting for politicians who prioritize the environment, supporting businesses that operate sustainably, reducing our own consumption, and raising awareness among our friends and family. It all adds up.
So it's about making conscious choices, even if they seem small.
Right.
And using our voices to demand change.
Exactly.
But does Attenborough actually believe we can pull this off?
Yeah.
Or is he just trying to stay optimistic for the sake of, not completely losing his shit?
Well, he's seen the worst of what humanity can do to the planet.
Yeah.
But he's also witnessed the resilience of nature.
Okay.
The power of innovation and the potential for positive change.
Right.
He wouldn't keep fighting if he didn't believe we had a chance.
So we've got a shot.
Yeah.
But it's going to take a hell of a lot more than just planting a few trees and driving a Prius.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about a fundamental shift in our values, our priorities, our entire way of life.
Exactly. It's not just about saving the planet. It's about saving ourselves.
Right.
Attenborough understands that our fate is intertwined with the fate of the natural world.
Yeah.
We either learn to coexist or we go down together.
Well, it's a sobering thought. But hey, at least we've got, like, a badass nature dude leading the charge. Sir David Attenborough, you're a legend. And thanks for not letting us completely fuck things up yet.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
Let's hope his message continues to resonate and inspire action for generations to come.
And that wraps up our deep dive into the life and legacy of Sir David Attenborough. Hope you learned a thing or two, and maybe even felt a little bit inspired to, not be a complete dick to the planet. Until next time, folks.